Fly me to the moon, let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. Fly me to the moon.
I do know a little bit. Yeah. We used to work out together. I know your wife. I know your sons.
You know my daughter?
I don't know your daughters. No.
Oh, Molly is the last one, and she is just have a baby. She had a baby 18 months ago, and she actually went in an auction zoo, bought the name of the new giraffe, baby giraffe, to put the Mila, which is her daughter's name, and so she went today, and new giraffe name is in the news is a Mila.
New giraffe.
The one at Fort Wayne?
In Fort Wayne.
Oh, wow, that's
the baby
fun.
giraffe.
That's
Very
pretty cool.
So
Yeah,
the baby was born 5'10", and a few weeks later now is 6'3".
They grow fast.
So that baby was born here in Fort Wayne?
Yes.
The
Yes.
giraffe, yeah.
Wow.
The mom and the dad are in Fort Wayne. Yeah.
I saw a baby giraffe being born at the Brookfield Zoo in Chicago like 1,000 years ago. It is a fascinating thing to see that happen.
Yeah, that's a big
Big baby.
Big baby.
Yeah,
Like, is the
and
neck
they
all
drop
like
down?
Yeah. Oh, wow.
They
Yeah,
drop
they
down,
drop
a
down.
long ways from because those
Because
legs
they
of that
stand
mom.
up, right?
They, they might. I don't remember.
I
but
think so.
probably.
They stand up, they drop and
Just
Yeah,
land on your
yeah, they
feet,
kinda-
land
it
on your
takes-
feet, and just keep going.
Yeah, it takes them just a few minutes, I think, to kind of get on their feet, and then they're like,
Yeah.
there they are. Yeah,
Wow,
pretty
that's
wild.
amazing.
amazing.
So welcome to Between Three Rivers, and this is our podcast, and we welcome my dad, which is we wanted to have him on the show, and wanted to get a few shows in before maybe to warm up, and now we have you, and we're excited to have you, and thanks for coming on. I know we were talking before this. It's like you kind of want to stay under the radar.
I'm happy I'm here. So I still want to be under the radar, but I'm here.
Yeah. But
Well, that's why we're not telling anyone what his name is.
Oh, sorry.
yeah, it's just
My
dad.
name is
you know?
Michael Khorshid, okay?
yes, Michael Khorshid here, and well, it's time. I think we tell a little bit of your story because you've come a long way.
I come a long way, and coming from other country in the Middle East, and actually life was there. I'm 25 years old when I moved from my country to United States, and first I went to Kansas City, and started, go school and learn English. When I first time I come in the USA, I couldn't talk one word English, but I learned English in the 6 months with the nun from school that was teaching English. So slowly, after a year, I started talking.
That's amazing to me because I took Spanish class in grade school, 8 years of it or whatever they have you take. I can't speak a sentence. There was one time they had this poem, and you won't like this. My kids won't like this, but I had to cheat because I was like, I don't know what I'm doing with the Spanish thing. And so what I did was I had this they would let you open a book to look at it once or twice to like remember the words. And I kept the sheet right on top of the binder, and I'm just like reading it right off the binder.
You better hope that your teacher isn't listening to this.
Yeah, right. But
well,
you got to do what you got to do, right?
You pass the test, you got to do it. You got to do it.
So the beginning of each show, we like to do like a little intro of what's going on in the world and everything like that. And I just read, and I think you all will find this interesting. Is we're not in the tech world, but Google, Amazon, they're all struggling right now. You're in manufacturing, Dan's in promotions and marketing. And what was interesting to me was all these tech companies, they try to get all their employees by giving so many benefits. You could get a massage in the middle of the day. You can go get whatever food you want, and all of a sudden they're taking all that away. And people are leaving the tech industry, but they're also forcing them out. and it's a big thing in the news right now.
Well, I think technology is, so much change to everything is going to be computer or robot is doing the jobs, and it can less people involved in that. So every companies, every business, they look and save the money how to do to surprise. So
No, that's a good point because Google, for instance, they're putting all that money into AI and their computer systems and things like that.
Well, I'm sorry to tell Andrea this, but you're not going to be able to come over to my office and get a neck rub anymore during the day because that's
out.
No longer happening.
I'm out.
She's got your resignation ready.
he's got to work now.
Yes.
That's work.
Jeez. Okay.
Oh, that's good. And then the other big one everyone talks about is interest rates, of course, and where they are and how the economy is working and things like that. But I had this moment where I had this idea. I was like, what if instead of you put money in out of your paycheck to do health care, things of that nature. What if you had like a home improvement rate where you could put in a little bit of money every week, and then you can pull it out anytime, tax free. And because
And you didn't do it at home proof. So
Yeah,
you
you
just
can
took
do
the
the-
money back. Huh?
yeah,
Well, you want the government in charge of that? Is that
I
how
don't
you want
think
it
so.
controlled? I'll tell you this along those lines. If there had ever been an option to opt in or out of Social Security, I would have absolutely said, I'll handle my own money, thank you. Because the way they do it, and now they're talking about running out of Social Security money, but yet they've got money for all these other things that they shouldn't be using it for. And somehow they've managed to really, really mess up the Social Security system. So that's what they would do to your home improvement fund
Right.
as well.
Did you know that I read this? Social Security, the budget for the government is like below 1% of their budget. It's crazy the amount of money the budget's going to other things like, war and all these other things. And then you got this little Social Security that they can't even pay for.
Well, because it's people's money sitting there, and they feel like they should spend it so they don't have to pay back the people. So that's
Yeah,
the
it's like
Social
an extra
Security.
tax.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
And I think for myself, I'm 72 years old, and I wasn't collect my Social Security because I'm still working, all stuff, and I find out I can take my money monthly now because it doesn't matter how much I make money, how much I work, and so I started to take the money out, and I said, well, this is a good small money coming monthly and use it for vacation. So
Sure, yeah.
why not? It's kind of, I was surprised I could do that. And it's helping, a little bit.
Well, you certainly should be able to do it. It's your money.
Exactly. And I said, I'll put that money now. I'm taking out. I enjoy it. So it's hard. Some people, they live with that Social Security money. And when the time's coming, there's nothing there to give. So,
Right.
people, they got to, government has, their hands on their money, and they're going to use it. So
Well,
it's-
if Warren Buffett can get a Social Security check, you should, right? Is that-
exactly. Why not? I mean,
Well, you worked for it. I mean,
I'm
how many
paid.
years did you work?
Okay. When I came in USA, 25 years old, and since then I am working, never stop. Even I went, college, I was working. I paid Social Security, and then all today is almost 25, 72 is 40 some years I'm paying it.
Yeah.
Long
So
time.
I think I deserve to take
Right.
my money back some.
Well, so I was going to ask you, Mike, can you tell us, how did you make a decision at age 25 to leave your home country and go elsewhere to build your life and your family and your business. And how did you? What happened that caused you to decide?
What
to do
happened is when I graduated from high school, actually my life was not easy until you get the high school graduate. And a high school graduate is really hard there. They make you study a lot of classes we are taking in the college today. And so it's not easy if you miss in it 2 classes and you're not going to pass that year. You have to go start all over again. So when I graduated and I took the test to come in the United States, but because I didn't know English at all, I couldn't pass the test. So then I decided, I have to go Army 2 years. And I went to Army 2 years to do my duties so that way I can release from country, come out. Otherwise, I could not come in the country if I didn't do my 2 years Army. And then when I was 2 years Army, 6 months training, and then I was teaching in a village, which is a small village in a mountain, and no power, no water. The food, whatever is farmers that were make, we eat those. And I teach in a year and a half there, but took a time, when school was off, we had a 2 weeks vacation, come back in Tehran, with big city, and live in that area. So then after 2 years, I tried go university, and there was so much political and so much trouble, and school was closed 6 months, it's open 2 months here, 5 months there.
Mike, were you a political animal, or did you want to stay away from politics?
I want to stay out of politics because the country was so messed up, up and down. And so I decided just okay, I need to get out of this country. And because I always want to be educated and be engineer. My dream was build the buildings. So decided, okay, talk to parents, and my parents, they weren't happy at all. They didn't want to miss me, and they didn't want to come, to USA. So
they wanted you to stay put.
They stay put.
Because you're one of how many siblings?
I'm in fifth of the boys, because we had 4 brothers older than me and myself, and then my sister was the youngest one. So we have 6. My parents had 6 kids,
and they were all there, and you were the only one
there, and they never went to university. Well, yeah, they just have a life there, and then just grow that way. So I decided I need to go college, and I want to go, learn.
And so you were the rebel.
I was kind of a rebel, and I was the youngest boy, and I was a little bit more, going out. As going out, is not get trouble, but.
So you never got caught. That's really what you're saying.
I tell you what, one day I used to play soccer, and one day my parents see me on the TV and said, I come home, I got trouble. What are you doing? Where are you going? Why are you playing? Why you never told us? And I said, you never let me to do it. So I'm playing a team, and you saw me there, and I'm going to go in that direction to, play the game, this game, because I love a game. And I used to, my mother said, yeah, you play in the field, it's all dirt and no grass, and you come home so dirty, I have to hose you down before you come in the house. Those are times past. But, it's kind of, I was always to look in the future where I like to be and where I want to go. And So coming USA, I was lucky and 25 years old. And when coming USA, my parents helped a little bit, started, go to school and paid the tuition for 6 months. And after that, I had to work to make enough money to pay school.
And you learned English.
Learn
somewhere along the
English,
way.
yeah.
Yep.
I started with the washing the dishes, because of no English, and then I go waitering, and then cook, and then I was almost in a college finish. I was kind of half a chef because I was whole morning restaurant I was setting up for.
Yeah, interesting.
What kind of food was it?
It was American food, and I learned how to make eggs Benedict, and nobody could make it as,
Yeah, that egg's
Best I
hard.
could.
That egg is hard
and
to
then,
make.
then because the sauce is very hard to make it. So since I made that one, they put me in the front in brunches in a restaurant and in a Sunday morning, and I was charging Sunday morning brunch. And
Tell us about the process that you had to go through to come to the States.
I had one of my brother had a store, and my dad had a shoes factory, and I have to show they support me, and I have to show to I would need to go in USA. I need to show something support behind it, so that started, and I'll put it there and then show them, and my family help, and then I come in USA in Chicago. And the first time, flying to Chicago, and my parents always said, "Oh, when you get to Chicago, don't go outside. Be careful. All these,
Dangerous place.
danger place, Chicago." So anyway, my friend actually fly with me too in that time, and he was going to live in Chicago, and then I'll fly to Kansas City. The Kansas City, when I go to school, 6 months learning English and all stuff, and then summer's coming, no money's coming anymore from country, so I bought the truck for ice cream truck and sell ice cream in the south side of Kansas City. Believe it or not, I got robbed 2 times. I still going back next day,
wow.
and the same guy stole my money. He come and buy ice cream with my money.
So is the South Side a rough neighborhood?
South side,
That's rough. Yeah.
rough,
Like South Side
neighborhood.
Chicago.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
It
I
was
love that
like-
though. The guy that stole your money comes back with your money to buy.
yeah.
to
ice
buy
cream.
ice cream and then laugh at me. I said,
You're like, and you can't do anything about it. You're like, well,
I said I got my $2 back at
Yeah,
least,
yeah.
But it was a rough in school and finish it. Then I moved from Kansas City to Chicago and graduated my university, Roosevelt University, and Illinois, Chicago, Illinois University for 2 majors. So it's kind of I finish it, and then
now don't forget about the best thing that came out of college and Chicago.
yeah,
What was
that's
that?
right.
What was,
The Chicago best things happened to me is I met my wife.
there it is. Yeah. I was like, can't forget about that one, right?
No,
Was she going to the same school?
No, she actually. What happened is funny. We were same building, and Patty, Patricia, my wife today, and so she same building. She asked me, "Can I?" Because she was looking for a job. Can I come in and your school take some books for study for my interview? So fine. So we took her there. She took about 8 books. I said, "Oh, I'm dead," because those books got to come back. Otherwise, I got to pay for it.
Yeah.
So she took him, a week and 2 weeks, and she said, "Oh, I'm done." I said, "Oh, God bless you. We need to get those books back." So we took a book back, and that started, meet Patty and started my life. So it's
So after you guys met, it's kind of fast tracked from there, right? It was like you're coming back to Fort Wayne from there, and
What happened is when we had the first baby, my oldest son, and we had two choices. You can't live in the Chicago with kids and family. It's hard. So you have to go suburb of Chicago or move to a small city. So we decided coming back to Fort Wayne because
Well, this is Patty's hometown.
Patty's hometown.
Yeah.
And so we moved to Fort Wayne and started life in Fort Wayne here.
You mentioned soccer. You were rather a big-time soccer player, if I understand correctly, right?
When I was 20, 21, 22, it was I played team of the country, and I was good enough to get in the team. And
Well, you were in the water. You were in the qualifiers for the World Cup.
World Cup.
Right.
We were playing for World Cup in '74, and for to make the final for World Cup teams to get in, which is they take 32 teams, and we missed it with them one game.
Oh man!
Wow.
And couldn't make it that year. But I think it's to help me, okay, because in that time, the football, soccer is not really business for people in that time. They were paying us like a couple thousand a year, just play a game and enjoy it. Now the people that making millions of dollars and different businesses now.
Well, they should thank you. You got them started.
I don't know, but
Well,
it's good things happen because that helped me to get out of the country.
Yeah.
Well, you did play against somebody that made probably good money though.
Oh yeah, it's a play actually. We invited him to come in to our country, and Pelé actually in that time was top dog, and he came and he beat us like 8-9-0, and
I mean, Pele was in his prime too. Like that, he was.
oh yeah, he was very good, and then 76 he was done
Is he
with
from
them.
Peru? Where is he from? Somewhere in South
He's
America.
from
right?
Brazil.
Brazil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now Billy said you were going to show us some of your soccer moves today. So we're
Okay.
really excited about it. We can move that drum out of the way.
No, thanks, because I had a new knee a year ago. I don't do that
Pretty soon
anymore.
though, right? Yeah, pretty soon you'll be
Pretty
back
soon,
at it.
I have to play with their kids. So
The grandkids,
grandkids.
they're starting
I'm
soccer
still
now.
working with the grandkids, but I don't think I can beat these guys
All right,
anymore.
fine. All right. Well, you have to ask. You don't know until you ask.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, no, that's always interesting, to me too, hearing your background and where you came from. It's inspiring. It is. And to see you come from really, when you came to the States, you had some from family help, but nothing really. You started over.
Well, I started after, because it's a 4 years college. After 1 year, I had to make enough money to stay in the school and life. And because if you weren't full-time student, in that time, they deport you because you're foreigners. And that's the rule. And you have to be, and usually I take 18 classes because I want to finish it faster because we were paying a semester. And then we're paying a good money for it because when you're a foreigner, you have to pay full amount of school.
Right.
So it was not cheap for me to do that, but got help. And
Are you still paying back the loans, or did you get that
no,
all
I
taken
didn't
care
have
of?
a loans. Everything was because we were foreigner. We couldn't get the loans.
Oh, so you had to pay cash.
Pay cash. And so it's kind of rough, tough. You got, when we sell an ice cream, believe it or not, I could make that 3 months enough money to pay 2 years my tuition.
Wow.
Yeah, interesting.
Wow.
It's just amazing,
That must have been some good ice cream.
Yeah.
No, I was selling those popsicle and what is it called, sandwich ice cream, and
You probably hear the sound in your head, like still, like
Oh, yeah.
The
Song.
song.
and ding.
Yeah.
But
Would you say engineering? I was business, and what do you think the hardest part of going to engineering school was? Was it math? Was it?
I'll tell you what, engineering's first 2 years was easiest for me because, as I say, in the back home in a grade school, I took calculus 1, calculus 2 in the high school. So I knew, I didn't speak good, but I knew the formula, how to do the
Wow.
calculus. Like we took like, calculus and physics and chemistry. And those three is the hardest, really, classes for engineers. But I was good at it because this is the second and third times I've seen them.
So you did it in high school. You already had all that stuff.
That's right.
Man,
That is
they're
amazing.
way ahead of us.
Yeah, no kidding.
We were
So-
still learning geometry, man.
Exactly, because
Wow.
it wasn't not too much study because I knew that it's all formula, all things physics and calculus, and we took a calculus 1, 2, 3, and physics 1, 2, 3, and chemistry 1, 2, 3, because those are part of the engineers classes you have to take.
Yeah.
Those are harder, but when you come in like social classes, I was worse because
man.
it's I'll tell you what, my wife
Psychology.
Patty,
Yeah.
asked her one time she write some paper for me because I was so bad.
Yeah.
And I said, I need to pass this class. She said, I'm not going to do it. I said, okay. But she did help me. And
Now you have AI. Too bad you're not in school now.
Yeah.
Just ask AI to do it
Yeah,
for
you
you.
can write it for you.
exactly.
I wonder how they tell that apart.
I don't know. I don't
Like-
I tell you what, I've written a couple things in the office and I've sent it out to the staff. Somebody goes, "Hey, AI wrote that."
Yes.
Like, really? You know that?
That's
If
fine.
anybody like LinkedIn, they have the same thing. If you write something, you can press a button, it'll edit your whatever you wrote and make it better.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
So
well, that's that's interesting. Now we're fast tracking back to Fort Wayne.
Yep.
You're coming here and you're starting a business. I know the backstory of Huntington Electric and everything.
well, it started when I come in Fort Wayne, my father-in-law helped me to go in one of his business, the trucking business, okay? And trucking business is rough business. And you talk about all these dispatch those drivers. And what happened, you losing a truck, you can't find a truck because drivers didn't call you. Where is that? And we were doing a fresh food, and the fruit is like orange. You bring it from California to go New York. It's got to get 3 days to get there. So it was tough business, but you got to be top of it. Anyway, I started that business, and always, when they come into Fort Wayne, I was talking to them and to find out where is the next going and all stuff. And one time, funny things happen, but it's a life. One time, this guy show up, and then we supposed to deliver it somewhere around the Fort Wayne, and the truck didn't show up. And then companies calling us, where is the truck? Those are food we needed tomorrow, distributed this. I said, okay. He was here, and we talked to him. So I started to look around. And, in that time, a lot of showgirls around here for Wayne in truck stops.
I don't think it's changed much, honestly.
I don't know, but I'm not in that business.
No,
I don't know.
yeah.
So I told my wife, said, it's like 2:00 morning. I said, I'm going to find this truck because I know it's at
2 a.m. You went looking?
Oh, yeah, truck and
man.
stuff. So I'll go around and try find a driver. I go into those showgirls and they said, well, you have to pay. I said, I'm looking for my driver. So I'll go in there. It's not there. I'll go back. So he saw me
No,
somewhere.
so hold on. You had to go inside to find the
Inside.
driver. You couldn't look in the parking lot to see if the truck was there.
We saw the park. No, we saw a truck, and I
Oh, you
look
saw-
at the
okay, you
truck.
saw the
So I'm looking at the driver. Tell him, come and get this thing. Oh,
Pull them out and just get.
pull 'em out. So, after
So you did find him.
no.
Oh, you did
after
find
1 hour, I come back. I called one of my dispatch. I said, "You better come to get the truck." So I went to the truck. The guy said, "I'm quit. I don't want to work for you anymore."
Oh, jeez.
So he saw me somewhere.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
funny things, I'll call him and say, "Okay," and then I'll come home at like 3:00, and Perry said, "You have a nice life, huh?" I said, "Yeah, I was all in the showgirls."
Yeah.
So how did you get the oranges
Man.
to New York?
Yeah.
Oh my
Did you
gosh.
have to drive it? Or did you-
No, I don't. But we had to get another driver to drive it.
I'll tell you what. I had a friend. Speaking of people just like non-confrontational, they don't want to like say I quit to your face or anything like that. I had a friend that their babysitter was supposed to show up. They both work, and an hour before, she texts and says, "I can't do this anymore." I'm like, this generation, they
just
don't realize that there are like effects
Yeah.
to decisions, and that reminded me of that. 'Cause I'm like, people got to like take ownership of their, what they're doing.
It was just this is the funniest things happen in that business, but I'm glad I'm not in that business. One day, truck driver called and said, "I don't have enough gas. I don't think I can make it to other, gas station." So we asked him, "How much gas you have?" And he said, "I'll put my finger in there to how much gas in there." I said, "Which finger?" I said, "Middle one." I said, "So you use the tallest one, right? Good job. How much you had?" "Well, half of my finger." I said, "So you have 10 miles to get the gas. So we find a gas station in about 5 miles. Go get the gas."
Oh,
But
my goodness.
those things happen crazy. And I said, "I'm
So
not."
you could stick your finger in there and figure out how much gas you had?
It's usually they have a wood sticking there to find out how much gas in
Yeah,
there.
okay.
He open the caps and go in there. So
Yeah.
Crazy.
But
That's crazy
that's
business.
crazy
man.
people. Sometimes you gotta
So
drag them
you got out of that business fairly quickly?
very quickly and hardly. So we did.
Yeah.
But then I went and started, as you say, Huntington Electric. Started consulting this company, Huntington Electric, and it was owned by Jim Shields and his partner. And partner never was there, so I went there, and they were losing money. It was $1 million sales they had, so I went there, do it right for them, and they made money, and I bought the partners out, and then I bought Jim's out, and I think that started my business, and built in it. So
Is that still one of your companies? It's not.
no, we sold it.
Yeah, I didn't
That
think so.
Huntington Electric was growing. We bought 4 companies around the country, and then we were one of the best resistance manufacturer for all elevators. These elevators you have everywhere, we actually make a resistance for them, and then that helped us to be really known in the business. And all big guys, they want to come, buy you out because they're so big. And we decided to sell that one 2011. And after 2011, I started buy other business and added business left and right. So today we have almost 9 companies, and 4 kids are working there, which is all of them graduate, 2 of them engineers, and 2 of them business. And they help me. I'm getting older. I don't spend too much in there, but I go every day work. And the point is, I always, try to tell my kids and people, you have to be fair to these employees. And those employees, they make money for you. But you have to show your face every day, and you have to work hard. They see you work hard, and then, you get the results. So it's kind of, I'll go in the back in the shop sometimes myself and start to make parts. I'll go in the front, make sure I'm doing it right. It just was like spending 10 hours a day, work. But today, all these boys and my daughter help, so that way I don't have to work hard, and that's their business now. And Goro business is almost
How many total employees are there across all the companies?
450 employees.
450. Yeah.
And we have one company in Missouri, which is we kept it from old business, but it wasn't registered. So kind of we kept that one, and the rest of them all is in Indiana, Angola, and Elkhart, and Fort Wayne, Garrett, Auburn.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And back to the resistor thing too. I mean, you were making a lot of people mad because you were stealing sales from people. And I remember too going on elevators when we'd go on soccer tournaments and things like that. And you'd be like, yeah, we sell to that company. Yeah, we sell to that company as you're riding the elevator. And yeah, I mean, your competitor got mad. And
we had like, GE coming after us, can you do this one? And there are special resistors. And we built it, and we don't give them the recipe to anybody. And they're ones that compete, but they couldn't make a coating like we do. And those formula, I try help to make it to nobody knows, how to do it. So it was a very protected.
Yeah. Well,
and they couldn't, sell it like as we did. So
right. And well, I guess, talking about manufacturing and everything like that, what would you tell like the next generation and people that are going to be going in the workforce to go into engineering, to do skilled trade, because there's people that are making things that need to still keep making things. I feel like there's this trend where, kids and adults are getting out of manufacturing instead of going into it.
That's the point is, I think the manufacturing is, you have to be interested in what you need to do in the future to go in with the technology, with anything is changed. And I think it's a couple of company, they make the automation for the manufacturing, they make a parts. So that's it, makes you have. And we have two companies, they can make everything automation for any kind of business. And the engineers, they design it, and we have a lot of stuff, we make it, and we continue to have information to use it for future on the new, engineers coming to market. But a lot of things you learn in the business is not engineers walking from college and come and say, hey, can you build this? It's very hard. It's unusual. And that's you have to train engineers interested to build these and learn these, how they do it really in the business.
Well, I think too with that is like you probably look back on the resistor company, all of that. I remember walking through the factory, it was all just hands-on, everyone's building, but now I'm sure they've got systems that just crank these things out like.
Oh, definitely. They want, we were doing a lot of stuff with the hand because we didn't have automation that time. But today, a lot of these resistors manufactured, they have automatic built in it. And the point is, some of these resistors, they use for some of these like airplane and all this, stuff you need to be, government needed, you never talk about it. They use it. You still have to be with the hands because the way they're built is totally.
Well, we had a big issue, a few years ago with not us, but the country with the chips in the cars. China was making all these chips and we weren't making them. And then all of a sudden we don't have them because we can't get them.
Because we designed it, we took them to China, and then China learned to make it, and then decided not make it to, compete with USA. So that's a problem. When you're in the house, you build something, And I'm sure a lot of business, they don't want to go China or Vietnam or any places in that area, Asia, to build these things because it's hard to get it. And so, yes, we have problem. And some of these big companies, they go and they get, trouble and they can't come back to it.
Yeah, that's basically like my I guess my point to all of that is like, it's such a needed industry. I mean, within the corporate holdings companies, like you mentioned, we have 9 companies. One's plastics, one's metals, automation. We make motors, electric motors. So and it's all these commodities that are going to be around for a while.
They're on niche. You want to be in those kind of business because it's never going to go away.
Yeah, sure.
And that's what we're usually looking to buy to add in the business because they have a niche and they help us to continue. It's shrink a little bit from 10 million maybe drop to 5 million sales, but still they need that niche.
It's needed. You can see it's needed. And so I know you make the secret sauce when you were a chef. What's the secret sauce of buying businesses?
Exact same thing. You have to know the business, and when you know though that sauce, you make it to do it right. And when the business come in, you have to look for all the things is there, why you're buying it, why you're making it, and then decided to make sure this is for good for future. You sell it, and so everything is like is a calculating, mixing together to find out best test you have. So
no, that's a good point. I mean,
that's a business. I learned to how to do it, and I think you guys learning it too. I mean, that's
seeing it from just an outsider, from being in the room, right? It's like there's key components. There's like you gotta have the company has to have good people. It's got to be making money. Like you're not buying businesses that are not doing well.
Exactly.
They're doing well, and then we
do that better for it.
Yeah, you bring your own spin to it.
Yeah.
And so.
So do you have plans to buy more?
Definitely.
Yeah.
We actually, every 2 years we bought the business since 2011.
Okay.
If you look at it, 9 more business we have. Mm-hmm. And then some of them actually was so small, we brought them in one umbrella. Probably we total right about 12, 14 companies we bought, but some of them so small, we just brought it to other companies.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
What would did we miss anything? What else would you want to talk about? If there's anything you want to say or?
My always the point is, those people that work for you, it's very important. You have to trust them, you have to respect them, and you have to work with them and be fair to them. And that's the way it goes, because they see you who you are and they work harder for you if you are doing it right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
so do you give them massages?
No massages, but I will pay them good so they can, go buy a massage.
Yeah, I would say like growing up in the business, I told Dan this one time. I said, I don't know if my dad meant to do this to me or not, but he had me off starting as a janitor basically, and
Perfect.
Humble me a little bit and make me want to go to school.
Well, the kids come in and they feel like they're okay. Oh, we are manufacturing, we're making money, everything's good, wonderful, all's good. I don't want to go to college. I said, come to work here. So they do the work hard and dirty and sitting there 8 hours in one chair and then do the same thing every day. I said, how will you feel like that?
Hey, I'll tell you what too. No headphones, no screens. We couldn't have that back then.
No. So it's kind of, they learn and say, hey, I got to go to school and learn.
Right. Sure.
I want to be, next manager or something. So I sit on there.
So where did you go to school?
I went to Purdue.
Purdue.
Actually, everybody in our family went to Purdue.
And
Yeah.
do you have an engineering degree? What's your degree?
No, it's business.
Business
Yep,
degree.
Yep. Molly and I were business. My brothers were both civil engineer.
Too old one and got the engineers because
The smart ones.
well, not really. I don't know. You call it sort of.
I couldn't do the math.
I wouldn't be able to do that either.
I didn't have high school calculus, so
Yeah, exactly.
but
college calculus in high school.
I will say though, he's talking a lot of truth there with like how he manages his companies, because I would see it when I was running those machines. He'd come talk to everybody. He'd see what's going on. I'll tell you what, he gets more steps in probably than a lot of people because he's walking the plants.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
you just had knee surgery,
Well, that's an
but
old,
you're walking already.
Because I lose all those knees walking.
That's an old management concept. MBWA, management by walking around.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's good.
If you show your face, talk to
Yep.
them, and then, is that one day I walk in one of those company. Molly, my daughter, was running it, so I walk with her in the shop and floor, and the funny things happen, and she's walking and say, "Hi, how are you? Everything's good today?" And that, and suddenly turn around and say, "That part's got to go tomorrow. You know that?" I said, "Whoa." That's pretty good, my bullet girl.
Yeah.
Because change bang. And I said, well, I think we did the job right. So
Yeah.
they are nice, and
Well, and it is
when the
one of
time
those.
comes business,
You know how
get
to
it
be
done.
a manager
and-
too. Yeah.
Yeah. We started as back in the shop, but then when we came out of school, we're running businesses. Molly came out of school running a business, and you learn fast. But my dad does a good job of like being there and saying, "Hey, this is how it works," and it takes a couple of years.
Yeah,
but
everybody had the 2 years, training, and I spend enough time, and I still every day go places because I stop like 5 places every start of morning to 5 companies. The funny things now we go back and then who's smarter, who's not. Engineers, they gotta work hard in the class, school, and the business guys, they talk and enjoy it and go in there. They don't have to study too hard, and they get better grade than the engineers because they work so hard.
Yeah.
It's always that way.
Yeah, how about
And,
that?
yeah, it's got the same GPA. You know.
Yeah.
But
So what do you do when you're not work? What do you like to do outside of your work life, Mike?
best life I have is going 2 months of the year going Canada. We have place in Canada, and this by water is beautiful place, and kids they come in and spend 10 days in there. So I like to go. That's my 2 months, and I go a little bit Florida. I stay in Florida in the winter time because my wife tell me, you have to go, and I go. But I love to work. That's if you leave me alone, I work every day.
Yeah.
They know it. Dad's always got to work.
Yeah, we'll be enjoying ourselves on the
And then we do. I love the family because I want to go vacation with family. We have at least once a year go vacation. All of us.
Everybody. Yeah.
Everybody.
That's a big group.
yeah.
A big group now. We have 18 people all together.
Yeah.
And we actually Saturday we're going to Sicily.
Yep.
And we usually go out of country. And so this year we decided to go in Sicily.
Can you imagine 8 grandkids in Sicily?
No, especially little
yeah.
ones, right?
Yeah.
You've
Yeah.
got a brand new one.
It's gonna
He's
be an
got,
event. It's gonna
6
be-
months.
Yeah.
What is that?
6
Navy?
months, 5 months. Yeah.
yeah,
so,
fun. Very fun. Yeah.
But this great. You see them and you go there, and everybody go there, and we are staying in a hotel and whatever, or take some houses sometimes. All in the same houses. So
Yeah. Well, let me tell you about his work.
that's my life
Yeah.
to enjoy it. How they do it.
Yes, but his work ethic, like we'll be on the beach, or
I'm
whatever.
still doing that.
And he's but in like we'll have a tree over here and it's got some shrubs, and all of a sudden it's middle of the day, everyone's just hanging out, and he's coming out with his chainsaw and taking it down. So
this Canada,
Yeah.
I keep myself busy.
Yeah.
No, it's
Yeah.
good. I think everything. It's
Yeah,
good though. You keep
so-
busy, and it's good work ethic for you.
You guys have any questions or thoughts? No?
All good.
No? Okay.
Well, we appreciate you being here.
Good.
We've wanted to have you here, and
Well, thanks. Let me be here, and I enjoy talk to you guys. It's
Yeah,
great.
thank you for coming in, Mike.
And you have
Appreciate it.
very good program, and I'll watch it and I just enjoy it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. If you know of any, maybe if you know, say 9 companies around the region that want to be a sponsor, let us know.
There's that $25 per month.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's,
It's okay. That's easy.
it's pretty good. It's a pretty good price. Yeah,
Let's
tough to
see,
beat
I
that one.
can give my mom $25.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks.
thanks.
Great. Appreciate that.
Boy, me